February, I got a new tattoo. And I didn't tell anybody about it at the time, not even my partner Al. It's really small, the smallest one yet. It's hardly noticeable, but it may be the most significant tattoo I have. It's located on my right middle finger in the space between the two upper knuckles, the same finger that had cancer in the nail bed. It's a tiny, tiny snake. And on my way to see Nadia, my tattoo artist, I was thinking about my mom and how it was coming up on the anniversary of her death. She's been gone almost 30 years. And a few tears rolled down my cheek. I was also thinking about my Aunt Jeanette and my grandmother and how I want this snake on my middle finger that typically represents anger when it's used to flip somebody off. And it occurred to me that maybe my anger was starting to soften. I then thought about my grandmother at Snake Hill Asylum, where she was placed in the 1920s, and the generational trauma that's been passed down to her children, grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and maybe even great-great-grandchildren. The rage, the anger, the lack of trust, the exploitation, the bullying, the name-calling, the beating, the competition, the lack of softness, and the stiff upward lipness, and on and on. I then thought about what the symbology of the snake means for me. And the snake tells me that I can sit with my grief and feel it, and I will be okay, not consumed. It also tells me that I can shed skin and continue to grow even into my old age. And even this thought crossed my mind that maybe in the divine order of the universe, my grandmother, Alfonsina Panzini, was sent to Snake Hill Asylum to let future generations know that the snake represents growth, renewal, wisdom, creativity, transformation, and vulnerability. And that it really is okay to feel the grief of my family history. And it really is okay to feel the grief of my own personal history. And that maybe in the richness of that grief, I will find the courage to shed the skin that weighs me down and emerge with fresh, clean, glistening skin. I don't know, maybe my grandmother was setting the stage, at least for me, to grow and soften and learn compassion and connection. It's a lifelong journey and one I'm grateful to be on. And as I look at the snake on my fuck you finger, I'm reminded of my mother Josephine, my Aunt Jeanette, and my grandmother Alfonsina. I know without a doubt they are very proud of me and grateful for the healing work that I'm doing. I can feel all three of them loving me. And it dawned on me that not only is my anger melting to grief, my grief is softening to love. The snake is there to tell me to feel my grief, sit with it, express it, and let it be seen. And it might just be one tiny tear rolling down my cheek. Even that small expression honors my mom, honors my aunt, and honors my grandmother. The snake reminds me to slow down and feel and know that that is enough. To shed old skin and to continue to grow. And as I was waiting for Nadia to arrive, I was sitting in my car listening to XM radio, and I saw the words "White Snake" on the monitor. And they were singing this familiar song. I don't remember the title, but the lyrics were, "Here I go again on my own, going down the only road I've ever known." That song used to speak volumes to me when I was a younger woman after yet another of many, many breakups. But it occurred to me that Those words no longer apply. I no longer identify with having to live this life alone, or for the most part, even being in control of it. I just have to have faith and hope. And those are other things the snake is teaching me. And it was in that moment that I knew that my new tattoo had to be white, a tiny white snake.